So you have something exciting cooking.
I
Why
do.
we have our very first retreat coming up in January 2026, which energetically for transition in time, there is no better than New Year. So I love
Yes.
identified that as your first retreat. So walk us through kind of what someone would expect at your retreat.
Absolutely. The name of my retreat, hosted by my company, Power Coaching and Consulting, is actually Transform in Tulum. So I think we all know about the amazing things that are happening in Tulum. It's beautiful, it's peaceful, it's time to unwind. January is a great time just to step back and think about living intentionally. Coming to the retreat would be just a really opportune time for you to enjoy so many benefits. Time to put up your phone, stop thinking about what you're doing for other people, what your job's asking for, and really connect with yourself. So during that short time, daily mindfulness, we're doing yoga, we're doing meditation. I have brought my own spiritual coach who I've been working with for over 10 years, who is an expert in Reiki and Kundalini yoga, meditation. She is masterful in those areas. So we'll have the opportunity to just really center ourselves, ground ourselves throughout the ceremony. We'll have delicious meals prepared by a private chef. We'll take advantage of some of the cultural activities that are really spiritually grounded and really well known in Tulum. We'll do a private cenote visit. We will have a cacao ceremony facilitated by locals. We'll do the Tej Mahal Sweat Lodge. So we'll have some really amazing, beautiful opportunities for you to connect with yourself. Lots of opportunity to connect with a small group of women in a beautiful private villa. And, you know, just the opportunity to think about what kind of transformations you'd like to make and have the support as you prepare to make those transformations. So I'm really, really looking forward to it. And I just can't wait to see what magic we'll be able to create in Tulum.
I love that. So when you're welcoming people in, what stage of transition should I be in before, if I'm thinking about going to a retreat all about stepping into my empowerment, stepping into the transformation I want to create, they kind of talk about those different stages of like contemplation, like am I ready to create the change or am I researching? So who is your space really curated for? What like pain points might I have of am I going through divorce? Am I going through career change? Where should I be to really come in and get the most out of it?
I would say anybody that knows that there's something better, anybody that wants to do something better. So it's not really focused on a stage, it's really focused on your commitment to yourself. I think we talked about this a few times. Anybody that's ready to feel more empowered and get out of the stage of this is happening to me, woe is me, oh no, oh no, oh no. Anybody that's really saying, I think there's something more here. I think that there's a better way. I think there's another way. And that's really the focus of the coaching session that you'll have before the retreat. So lots of opportunity to connect. I want to connect with everyone, hear a little bit about you, assess different areas of your life. So how are you feeling about the relationships in your life? How are you feeling about your environment, your work, the relationships you're having with your family, your health, your wellness, all the things that makes you you. So we'll do a pretty thorough assessment before you come in. Want to know how you're feeling, doing a check-in, and that will really help set the ground for what we focus on there. So don't feel overwhelmed. This is a time where you're really supported. But I think for any woman that's feeling like things are happening to them and want to flip the script, this is the opportunity. And I think we can all kind of relate to those times where you're just like, what more? What more can I take? Come one, come all.
I love that. And I really hope is something that you all take advantage of because there oftentimes is not an opportunity to understand what it is that we need to focus on. We feel that subtle unsteadiness. We feel frustrated, so we're doomsday scrolling or we're turning to alcohol or over consuming or living for the weekend.
Yeah,
And so what I'm hearing for you is that you offer this really powerful coaching for you, Tulum, for this
absolutely.
experience
Yes.
to identify and understand where those shifts are that want to occur. That's such a game changer. So I think we've got a fun event coming up where we get to sample a little bit of your magic. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's really important for people to understand there's so many different ways and so many different support resources that are available. I also offer one-on-one coaching, and this is really the start and bread and butter of my business. At this point, I have coached over 700 senior leaders and executives through job transitions and changing their mindset and losing jobs and getting even better jobs. So I'm really, really well versed in that. But for those who don't know me and are just seeing my pictures and seeing my information, I'm offering a workshop on August 2nd. And so that'll be a little mini glimpse into the transformation, support, and resources that'll be available to you in January. I'll talk a little bit about my power framework, some opportunities and tools that can really help you that I use and leverage in my coaching sessions. I will have my spiritual coach, Anila, come on. We'll do some breath work, some meditation. We'll do some assessments just to do a check-in on how you're feeling, what you're kind of really focusing on. We want this to be an interactive session. We'll introduce you to the area that will be in Tulum. As I mentioned before, it's a private villa, so you'll see and hear a little bit more about the cacao ceremony and the sweat lodge and what that entails. Answer any questions that you have. See the beautiful facility that's going to be there for us. So I think it'll be a really great time. I just want people to feel really supported, have the opportunity to ask questions, to see a little bit about what this type of coaching feels like and looks like. See a little bit about the power of your breath, the power of taking a few minutes outside of your daily schedule to do some breath work, some meditation, and how powerful that can be. And then think about how powerful that could be joining us in Tulum for an extended session. So I'm really, really excited about that.
I love that. And I think summer in particular, ladies, I don't know about y'all, but it's such a season of distraction from what you really fill your cup. It's barbecues and travel and all these things. And so to have this placed on August 2nd, I think it's such a smart move because it allows us to kind of ground back in, because we can't always just keep putting our wellness, ourselves on the back burner for the holiday season, the summer season. It always seems to be something.
Always something. Yes. Kids
So
getting back into school, every other thing we have going, right? Yes, always something.
a wonderful opportunity to ground in and be able to connect with all these wonderful space holders in a way that really helps you identify what it is that we want to focus on, what we want to shift. That's really beautiful. So, what do you think you would say to somebody who feels pulled to attend maybe your event, pulled to attend your retreat, but might be on the fence and not sure if it's for them?
Yeah, totally. I get it. Before I booked my first retreat in Bali, I'm like, what do I do? Who are these people? Who am I going to meet? So I absolutely totally get that. Part of the reason that I'm doing the workshop in August, so that's an opportunity. Come join, ask questions. I'm also very active on social media, and I'm doing coaching on a one-on-one basis. So if it's something that you're interested in, if you have questions about, please follow me. Please send me a question. Please send me an email. I'm happy to do quick discovery calls, just talk to you a little bit more about what's going on. You can hear a little bit more about my background and, the ways that I've helped support transformations in the future. So the door is open. Please don't let your hesitant or not knowing everything before you make a commitment to yourself. We make commitments to other people every day of the week. We make commitments to all kinds of things, technology, food, drinks, events. So why not make a commitment to do something that could better yourself and provide you with some support and perspective for improving your life?
I love that. So how can people say, I bet right now they're kind of thinking, oh, I want to go to that August 2nd event. I'm interested about that January retreat until Tulum. How can they stay connected? How can they follow along in order to get all the information?
Yeah, absolutely. So many ways, and I'm getting more and more comfortable in front of the camera, so you'll see even more. My website is up, so you can see all the details of our retreat, my background, my bio, lots of good information there. So Shakara Power Coaching is where you can find me. Also, my social media is very active, Instagram most importantly, but also on Facebook. I'll be getting on YouTube, and I'm also very active on LinkedIn. As I mentioned, with 20 years in corporate America and tons of partnerships and support and really just understanding of what that feels like and can do to us. I'm making lots and lots of content and really connecting with a lot of former colleagues and leaders and women who are just frankly burnt out. So all the social media channels, my website, and I'm available. And I can't wait to hear from you all.
Amazing. We're definitely going to tag on the replay. So if you're joining in and you're just catching the tail end of this, please know that you watch the replay on both of our channels.
Yes.
So you've gone through a lot of transition, a lot of change, and you are glowing. You are bright. You're going to be in South Africa as our retreat mentee on ground. So you're going to be joining us for 5 nights in Cape Town, 2 nights on Safari, which I'm so excited. And you've been able to kind of garner this information of like what to do for the logistics and everything else. And you've been somebody who's just executed. I've loved seeing you just be like, oh, that's got to get done. And you are just at it. And it's just so beautiful and impressive to see you take this kind of corporate mentality of like just an executor, a go-getter, and taking it to the world of healing and curating spaces. I absolutely love it. And I think we need more of that in the world. So thank you for being you. What's like an affirmation or a mantra that's helped you really move through transition in your own life, helped you really get into standing in your power during this new phase of life?
Yeah, that's so funny. Obviously, the mantra around, just being powerful, feeling powered, feeling like things aren't happening to me has been the true line for me throughout it all. And the ironic thing, I can't say ironic, I'm sure it's universe. My name actually means power in Japanese. So that's something funny. My parents saw it on a TV show, had no idea what it meant. They just thought it sounded cute. They gave me the name. And it wasn't actually until I was in college taking a Japanese sociology class that my professor let me know that, your name actually means power. So for many of us, I feel like we're always looking for power outside of ourselves. I'm powerful because I have this, husband. I'm powerful because I have this job, because I have this title, because I make this amount of money. But for me, it's I am the power. I always have the power, no matter who I'm with, no matter where I'm at, no matter the status of my employment. I have the power, and so do you. So it's really just coming back to thinking of how we can find that in ourselves. And regardless of the changes, regardless of the transitions, I am the power, has been my saving grace.
Love that. And so, would you have any final words of encouragement to support somebody who might be currently navigating a transition right now in their lives?
Yeah, you're not alone. You're not alone. It feels like that, and it's not your fault. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's a messy divorce. I don't care if it's a job layoff. I don't care if it's challenges with your family or your relationships. There's so many things that women are taught to internalize, and there must have been something wrong with me. I could have been this. I could have been that. You're not alone. It doesn't mean that something's wrong with you. These are signs that there's something else there for you. These are learning opportunities. These are learning opportunities for you to know my power doesn't belong to that company. It doesn't belong to that manager. It doesn't belong to that man. So sometimes these shakeups happen to help you really recognize those things are nice. It's great, but it's certainly not what creates the power and doesn't create that validation. So be sad, be scared, be anxious, be kind and gracious to yourself, but know you're not alone and know that there's resources to help you get to the other side.
I love that. Thank you so, so much.
Yes.
What I'm hearing is that if you are in a state of transition, if you need that support and that recognition that you are not alone, please go ahead and follow Chikara. We're going to tag her in this. Also, come to the August 2nd event where you're going to get
Please.
some of this magic in community and sisterhood. We're going to have breath work, a lot of healing modalities, and really get to learn space and community in a season of summer, which is oftentimes a season of distraction, which I think is just going to be cool. And put on your radar, y'all. Tulum, transformation in Tulum. Did I get that right?
You got it right.
Transformation in Tulum, and be sure to keep checking on our Instagram because you'll probably see this lovely face when we take this thing to South Africa, which I'm so incredibly excited about. So if you're interested in learning how to run retreats, this is all a part of our retreat mentorship program, which we are so honored and blessed after 8 long, beautiful years of running retreats to be passing the torch to some amazing space holders